A very good morning to everybody who's joined. Thank you for joining the webinar, and I appreciate you all taking out time. I assure you that today's session will be definitely worth your time. Today we discuss psoriasis through the lens of Dr. Lajpat Rai Mehra's neurotherapy and its potential cure. Psoriasis is certainly on the rise, and it is a condition that affects us not just physically, but at various levels, emotionally, socially, mentally. So I chose this as a topic for my first session in the series that I intend to undertake. I am Savita Batra, and I've been proudly practicing Dr. Lajpat Rai Mehra's neurotherapy for the last 8 years. Proud of the success achieved in all the cases that have been treated. I would like to ask you, how many of you are aware of this therapy? You can do so by a show of hands. How many of you have heard about this therapy? Not many. And that is very unfortunate, because the goodness of the therapy has not been able to reach many. So let me take this opportunity to explain in brief about this incredible therapy. Dr. Mehra was a prodigious child who started treating people at the age of 11 and continued to do so his entire life. He had the wisdom to combine the three sciences, the science of Ayurveda with the modern Western science, and he combined these two bodies of knowledge with the traditional Indian methods of healing to devise a complete therapy that is not only treating the symptoms, but it treats the root cause of the disorder. And it is so accurate, and the therapy is so accurate that he devised his own diagnostic system as well. And the diagnostic system is as accurate as a medical sonography test. How he was able to do that was, he was able to identify 19 points in the body, each specific to a particular organ. And in a patient, when we press those points, depending on the stiffness, the pain or the discomfort that the patient experiences, we are able to exactly understand the level of functioning of that organ. And that helps us to reach the root cause of the illness, because the organ, the pain point in that particular region, along with the medical reports of the patient, along with the symptoms that the patient reports to us, we are precisely able to identify the root cause of the illness. And having understood the root cause, we are then able to stimulate the respective organ by applying pressure. Now, the therapy has a very unique way of administration. And if you've not experienced it, it is very, very difficult to explain, because it's just like yoga. Unless you experience it, you do not know what it is actually doing. So what we do is, we are applying pressure and in a certain designated fashion for a specific time period and in a specific sequence. Now that sequence is defined by the body's physiology. So the treatment is extremely scientific. It has absolutely no side effects. There are no medicines involved, and it targets the root cause of the illness. And that is the reason for its incredible success in treating almost any kind of illness, even the ones that are termed incurable. And psoriasis happens to be one of them. So this is about a little brief about what the therapy is all about and how it is administered. Now let's understand LMNT's role in treating psoriasis. So when I will ask you a few questions regarding the illness, and then I would want you to pack the answers with yourself, because those questions hold the key to the treatment. Post this, I will be opening the round to all of you. You can ask me your doubts or your queries regarding the therapy and the disease in particular. And then as a finale round, I will be helping you with one incredible LMNT technique that stimulates a very important organ in the body, and that organ has a very important role in the treatment of psoriasis, right? So let's begin. Psoriasis has been understood as an immune system overactivation that triggers rapid growth of the skin cells, leading to thick, scaly plaque in patches in the body at several parts, right? It has also been understood as a systemic inflammatory disorder. Now, both these definitions provide us with the clue to what is happening inside the body. When we talk about systemic inflammation or chronic inflammation, as you would have heard, that is most commonly talked about topic. Now, that chronic inflammation is at the root of many serious illnesses that are prevalent today. And that is also the reason why psoriasis does not happen in isolation. And now I'm going to ask you a few questions to which you have the answers. They are directed at your personal health history, and that helps us to originate the origin of the disease in each of your cases, right? This helps you to understand your own body better, and this will also help you to make wise decisions hereafter. So you don't have to say out your answers, you just make a mental note of it, right? So the question number 1 is, do you have any kind of metabolic disorder along with psoriasis or any other skin condition that you have? So when I say metabolic disorder, it could be diabetes, it could be high blood pressure, high cholesterol, etc. The next question, do you experience constipation, or it could be constipation with alternating with loose motions and then constipation. So that is, but you never get a smooth bowel. It is never a well-formed bowel. And the third question is, do you notice any undigested food in the stool? When I say undigested, it could be pieces of carrot, beetroot, peas, corn, methi leaves, palak leaves, tomato skin, etc. Now some of you may think that this could be because maybe you've not chewed your food properly, but it is not so, and I'll give you the explanation a few minutes later. But it is a very, very important marker in our line of treatment. The next question is, do you feel acidity, bloating, or pain in the abdomen? Next, do you experience any kind of discomfort after eating fried food or a heavy meal? Next, did your present condition first start with itching and then continued to worsen till where it is now? Next, do you have vitamin D or B12 deficiency? And last, how good is your sleep quality? Now, each of these questions has a relevance. It is telling me about the health status of your various internal organs, and I start to explain that. When I ask you, do you have any other metabolic disorder along with your skin issue, what I'm trying to help you understand is how much is the level of inflammation in your body, that it has impacted the other organ along with the skin in your body. So with that, we understand the level of inflammation in your body. My second question was related to your bowel movement. When we speak about constipation or erratic stools, you have to understand that the latest research in psoriasis is pointing out to gut dysbiosis at the root of the systemic inflammation. So if you've had this persistent problem over several years and not been able to cure it, most of us brush it under the carpet thinking it is no big issue. But that is the root of all major diseases that the world faces today. And Dr. Mehra was able to identify constipation as the root cause for all major illnesses 4 decades ago. When I ask you presence of undigested food in the stool, that is very, very relevant because that tells me the level of functioning of your stomach. So you have to also know that the HCl in your stomach has the potency below 3. Ideally, it should be in the range of 1.5 to 2.5. And stomach is the organ where the digestion of protein takes place, and it takes place with the help of the HCl. Now, when you do not have adequate HCl in the stomach, you are not able to break down the proteins. When the proteins don't break down into amino acids, the amino acid is the raw material for almost all hormones in the body, especially your thyroid hormone. And majority of the people these days suffer from hypothyroidism. Now, therein is the root cause of the hypothyroidism. We can also relate to stress, because stress is the ultimate factor which is responsible for the metabolism going down. So there is definitely a strong correlation between mind and body, and that is what impacts your health. So we'll come to that later. But when you say you have undigested food in the stool, now that tells me the level of functioning of your stomach. When I ask you, do you feel any kind of acidity, bloating, or any kind of discomfort after eating heavy meal or fried food, that is where, once again, I'm trying to understand the level of functioning of your liver and your pancreas and one's stomach once again, because acidity happens because since the stomach is not able to digest the food properly, it rots in the stomach. And because it cannot go down, because that is how the body is made, that is how the digestion process happens. Only when the stomach is able to break down the food, it will go into the intestine. Now, if that process is not happening, then the food stays in the stomach for longer than the required time, and then it starts to come up. And that is what causes the chest burns, acid reflux, etc. So that is, once again, acidity, bloating is all related to the condition of your stomach. Heaviness after eating fried food indicates the level of functioning of your liver, because liver has an important task of metabolizing the fat component of the food. And if you feel heavy after a heavy meal, that is an indication of the functioning of your pancreas, because pancreas does the ultimate breakdown of the food. It has those enzymes which will now break down carbohydrates, fats, and proteins to the final product, right? So all these questions and their answers are giving us an indication of how well your digestive system is working. My next question was that I wanted to understand what started small has now aggravated into such a big monster. Now, people usually tell me that, oh, I used to have this kind of skin rashes, itching earlier on, but I'm completely cured because I took such and such medicine. But the point to be understood over here is that unless an illness is treated at its root cause, it has never left the body. The imbalance remains in the body. And with not a good digestion, the toxicity keeps building up, and then it reaches the final stage wherein none of the medicines are going to work, right? So that is exactly what happens. And the body does speak at all the times, telling you things are not doing well, and how it manifests is as maybe you have frequent bouts of infection, maybe you have frequent bouts of cough and cold. Now, those are also indicating that there is a lot of inflammation in your system, and we need to take a note of it, right? When I ask you your vitamin D and B12 deficiency or the levels in your body, you have to understand the role of vitamin D in our body. And it is such a pity that in a country like India, wherein we have 12 months of sunshine, majority of the population seems to be vitamin D deficient. Now, both these vitamins have a lot of relevance because these vitamins play a role in gene expression. So these days, when doctors tell you that it could be genetic changes that happen in your body, and that is what they're saying for most of the illnesses these days, that these are because of genetic changes. Now, the genetic changes that they're referring to are the epigenetic changes that are happening in the body, and the research now points out to constipation and gut dysbiosis at the center of the epigenetic changes. So something which we regard as so casual is actually at the root of all the dreaded illnesses that we are now hearing about. They have become so rampant. So this is where the line of questioning was being led to help you understand your own body better. And my last question was the quality of your sleep. Now, sleep plays a very important role in rejuvenating the body, in fighting out the inflammation. So if we are not getting proper sleep, or if we are not actually sleeping on time ourselves, it's a choice that we make. Now, that is the kind of harm that we are causing to our body. I hope all this has made sense to you, and you were able to analyze your health status, right? So we will be discussing this in detail when we open the question answer round, and you can ask me about your condition in specific. So we could discuss that. So all these questions were actually leading to explaining to you the pathophysiology of psoriasis actually. And if you've noticed that I did not really talk about psoriasis in any of my questions, because that is the speciality of LMNT. We are not really talking about the symptoms. We are actually talking about and treating the root cause of the illness, which is, so psoriasis is a manifestation of the illness on the skin. But what is happening inside that it led to that manifestation is what we will treat. So the cause is actually directing us to the treatment, to the path of the treatment. And that is why LMNT has been very, very successful in treating the illnesses at the core, right? And if once you take the LMNT treatment, there is assurance that the disease does not come back again, because we are able to remove the root cause of the illness, and we also help you with certain guidelines on your diet and good healthy practices that you need to maintain so that your body stays in good shape, right? So that is where the success of LMNT lies. Right, so we've spoken about the causes of psoriasis. I've also tried to explain to you how we will be able to treat psoriasis is when we are able to treat each of the organs which seems to have gone sluggish. So that is where the course of treatment is there. Lies, all right? So that is how we will be deciding the course of treatment. Now the treatment is very, very person specific, because in some people maybe the liver has really deteriorated in function. For some, the pancreas would have really deteriorated in function. In some cases, the stomach. Yeah, and when we say vitamin D and B12, so let me come down to the treatment of your illness. Now all those 8 questions are actually providing also the clue to how we will treat. So we've understood that gut dysbiosis is at the root. Constipation being part of the gut dysbiosis is at the root of the illness. So in LMNT, we are successfully able to treat both these causes of psoriasis. When I say vitamin D and B12 levels in your body, now, we do not suggest any kind of supplements, because if you understand the science of absorption of B12, that will also happen only if you have a good stomach. Because let me explain to you a little more scientific way. The stomach produces intrinsic factor, which is responsible for binding the B12, taking it safely to the ileum of the small intestine, and there it goes to the liver where it is stored. And let me tell you that liver has 6 years storage of vitamin B12. And if you do not have adequate amount of B12, so your system has been dysfunctional for more than 6 years at least, right? So that is the clue of how well your health has been functioning over the years, right? Modern research now points out to, so these are the findings of the modern research, right? Then they have been able to deduce this now. But Dr. Mehra was able to deduce this many decades ago, and therefore we have been successful in the treatment of psoriasis, because that is what we target. We are able to bring your digestive system to good health, restore the health of your digestive system. We are able to improve the functioning of your liver and pancreas, because 50% of the psoriasis cases have reported non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So when your sonography says the liver has grade 1, grade 2 fatty liver, now that is also responsible for your psoriasis, right? So that is how we are able to treat that, because we are able to stimulate the function of the liver. We are able to restore the vitamin D and B12 levels in the body, because once we rectify your digestion, intrinsic factor gets made, and the B12 storage comes from the food that you eat rather than from outside supplements. Also, somatostatin is now being used in the treatment of psoriasis, because somatostatin is an inhibitory hormone which will now work at that hyperactivity that is happening at your skin cells, and will control the hyperactivity or the unnecessary growth that is happening. Now we can stimulate the somatostatin from the pancreas. So somatostatin is an inhibitory hormone which is also produced in the pancreas of the body, and we are able to stimulate the pancreas. So we are able to produce a somatostatin from within the body, which is even more effective than the artificial somatostatin which you will take from outside. right? So that is how we will be treating psoriasis as a condition. Another thing that in the treatment of psoriasis, the conventional medicine does is that they recommend you corticoid therapy, right? So all the creams that you use have a certain amount of steroids, right? Now this corticosteroid that is applied on your body is actually made in the body by adrenal gland. And LMNT as a therapy has the ability to stimulate your adrenal gland and stimulate the production of corticosteroid within the body. So we are able to stimulate the adrenal cortex and we are able to stimulate the cortisol production in your body itself. And that is where the inflammation is being taken control of, right? So we are actually able to restore the health of your digestive system, your circulatory system, your excretory system, and then your endocrine system. And these are the systems which are involved in the treatment of psoriasis as an illness. So I hope this gives you a lot of hope in the treatment of the illness. Maybe each one of you is suffering from, or maybe one of your loved ones or people that you know are suffering from. So this is from my end how LMNT as a therapy is providing a cure for psoriasis. And now I would like to open the forum to all of you. And if you have your questions, you can please go ahead and ask me. And I request you to please switch on your video so I can see you in person and address you more specifically, right? Thank you very much once again for attending the seminar, and I hope what I just told you makes some sense to you and provides you some answers to your condition, right? Any questions anybody has? No questions? No questions at all. All right. Can I request everybody to open their cameras? Now that helps me to, when I teach you the technique. So let me go to the last part wherein I'm teaching you how to stimulate your liver, right? Good morning, Najiba. Good morning, Rekha. Can I request Mr. Mani, Renu, Shashi ji, Preeti ji to switch on your videos? Okay. So if you don't have any questions to ask, then I'm going to move to the last leg of our... Yes. Yes, Anna, please. You need to unmute yourself, Anna. Yeah, tell me. Yeah. So you have to understand that any illness that is happening in your body is not related to just one organ, right? So lack of oxygen will also happen, right? Because so the role of lungs actually comes into effect. In fact, in LMNT, we believe that if you have good lungs, if you have good kidneys, and if you have good digestive system, then there is no reason why you should be falling sick. So this is the relevance of each of these organs, because lungs provide you with oxygen, kidneys are there to filter out the toxins, and a good digestive system is there to give you good nutrition so that you have the adequate levels of chemicals, hormones, and enzymes that your body needs to function, right? Now, when you talk about allergies, then I have to understand, is it in particular talking about asthma? Because that is where the lungs are. So you have to understand that asthma is also it is also an inflammatory disorder, okay, wherein your airways have got inflamed, right? And they just need a little trigger for that inflammation to get aggravated. And that is why they say it gets triggered by external factors, right? Because there's a lot of inflammation in the body, and just a small trigger will cause a lot of inflammation. So that is actually, inflammation is your body's immune response. It is a protective response, but chronic inflammation is a problem. When that inflammation stays in your body for a very, very long time, that is what is at the root of all these major illnesses that the world is facing now. acute inflammation is okay because it happens for a little period of time. That is a protective mechanism, and once you've taken care of it, it goes away. That is good. And why stress is now being blamed for all the illnesses is because stress causes that chronic disorder, right? So that is where the role of stress comes. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, so what I was just trying to tell you through in the course of the webinar is that skin is the last organ that will get impacted, right? So there are all the other organs before that. Your stomach, your liver, your pancreas were actually going into dysfunction. And the manifestation of the symptom only happens at the last stage, wherein, so you have to understand the importance of liver. Liver is one organ which is actually compensating for a role of all the other organs. So why do we say that after 40 is that people generally start falling ill? All right, but we've continued with all the faulty practices, all the faulty habits before 40, right? And 40 is actually the age that we're realizing that what we've been doing so far is not really helping us. But in that period, let's say from teenage till we are 40, that was the time wherein the liver was taking the brunt of everything that we're doing wrong with our bodies, right? And finally, the liver also goes into a state of dysfunction. And that is where then the manifestation is what we realize, because we are not really able to see the liver, right? But then we are able to experience the symptoms much later. One fact that you have to appreciate about the body is, now all of us are resorting to medicines for everything. Something happens, so quickly dawai kha lo. But do you think that this was the case 100 years prior to this, like before the medicine actually came into picture? How do you think people were staying healthy in those days, right? First of all, they were leading a very healthy lifestyle, a very healthy diet, right? So there was no food which was being ordered from Swiggy and Zomato, right? So that was also happening. But your kitchen was your dispensary, right? So black pepper, your cumin seeds, your ajwain seeds, your methi seeds were the one which were taking care of you. अब हम रिवर्स करते हैं, हम पहले डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं, सब पूरा बीमारी खराब करके फिर हमें याद आता है नहीं फिर कोई बोलेगा अजवाइन का पानी पी लो, मेथी का पानी पी लो, फिर हम वो पीना शुरू करेंगे, फिर तब कोई बोलेगा योगा कर लो, तब हम योगा करना शुरू करेंगे, और तब योगा होता भी नहीं है because all your joints are very inflamed. So that is where we are going wrong. So if you have an illness, I think the first thing everybody should do is first try out the natural remedies, then try out yoga, then try out any other thing like LMNT, right? And even if that fails, now that is the time wherein you should be popping a pill for your cure, right? So actually we have to become wiser in our choices of treating our illness, right? And that is, I think that is where the wisdom lies. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Najeeba.
Saúde para jogo, mas nos não chega-se muito só de todos nós. She has a shoes to be her bowel side. She has to see so I think sport constitution one the other constitution. This of the soul years stop in that sort of situation, what is it?
So I think we need to target everything in our body together, because most of the organs are not really functioning. So we start with the digestive system. So we make sure that we are setting her system, the digestive system in place. we also have to reduce the inflammation in our body, right? So that is where, so you also have to understand that diabetes is also because of inflammation of the pancreas, right? Wherein the pancreas have got inflamed and not able to produce insulin, right? So everything for her, like it would be a very aggressive therapy wherein she needs 3 rounds of therapy per day. So that is wherein we start addressing all her symptoms, what she's experiencing, and slowly and gradually bring her systems into alignment. So that is what will be required in your mother's case. We need to set right all our systems back in order, right? So we'll start with the digestive system, her circulatory system, her respiratory system, her endocrine system. Everything needs to be aligned, right? And we'll start at the gut because that is where most of the action is happening, right? So we will, slowly and gradually it has to come back to normalcy, right? And plus the right kind of diet. Now, diet will also play a very important role in this case, right? So she will have to listen to our advice on what she needs to be eating. And this is for everybody's reference that non-vegetarian food does not help in such conditions. If you're really fond of eating non-vegetarian food, now that is the first thing you need to leave, right? Because that is also when your stomach is not really able to digest food, the non-vegetarian food is the last thing that it is digesting because it is a very, very dense protein and stomach is not capable of breaking down that dense protein. Right? So that is where the key lies, yeah. Yeah. So the talk about giving up milk stems from the fact that the quality of the milk that we now get, right? So what they say is that the cows are being injected with hormone injections so that they keep producing milk, right, at a commercial scale. So it is very, very different from how milk was fetched earlier. Like, so you had your own personal cow and it was not in captivity and it was not being given hormones, etc. So that was the milk you were supposed to be having. But as per Ayurveda, how you should be taking the daily products is, now this is what Ayurveda says and this is what I share with you, is that you're only supposed to take 2 spoons of curd in the morning in your breakfast. You're only supposed to take 2 spoons of curd as chas with your afternoon meal, and you're only supposed to take 100 ml of hot milk in the night. So that is the Ayurveda's recommendation of milk. But make sure that the quality of the milk that you get is from a place wherein they're not being injected with hormones and the cows are not kept in captivity, right? Because वो जो हमारी संस्कृति है उसमें गाय को माँ का स्टेटस दिया गया था, तो फिर गाय माता ही रहती है, बट गाय को अब आप कमर्शियली ट्रीट करेंगे तो माता की भावना आपके अंदर है ही नहीं गाय के प्रति, तो फिर वो गाय का दूध भी फिर आपके लिए उतना फलदायक नहीं होगा. So that is what you have to understand.
Which one would you recommend?
The milk. Okay, I sourced my milk from Vita Farms. They are in Thane. Yeah, and then they say that you can come to our farm and then you can check it out for yourself, right? Even though I've not done it, I trust that man. Because the purpose with which he started the farm was because he was wanting good source of milk for his own children. So I believe in the intent, and then I started ordering milk from him. And they do door-to-door delivery in Mumbai. I'm sorry? VITA, yeah. It's there on the Google, you can search for it. Yes. Najiba, you still have a question? Anybody else? Okay, so let me just help you with the liver point that will help to stimulate your, that is the elementary technique to help stimulate the liver. What you need to do is that it is ideally the elementary treatment is being given by the therapist to you. Now, how do you do it on yourself, right? So I need to adjust my camera so that you get the right angle. Just a second, let me get the angle in order. Give me a minute to do that. Now? Yeah. Okay. So this is the best we are able to do, right? So the technique is that under the elbow, and mind it, it's only the left arm and the left thigh, right? So under the elbow is your first point, then middle of the forearm is your second point, and just above the wrist is your third point. So these are the 3 points on the arm, and the 3 points on the thigh are just below your V line that gets formed when we sit. So that is the first point. The second point is the middle of the thigh, and the third point is just above the knee. So if I was to give you the treatment, I would be pressing this and this with my 2 hands for you. Now, if you have to do it to yourself, you will synchronize the first point of the arm with the first point of the thigh, pull the thigh muscle inwards with your forearm, and then you apply pressure on your thigh with the arm, and on this point on the arm, you will apply pressure with your right arm. All right, so here we go. And that is how we press, and you keep it steady for 6 seconds, and you count 6 seconds as 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. I hope you're getting the technique because I can't see you doing it. All right, so yeah. And after that, after pressing the first point, you have to take a gap of 6 seconds again, then move to the second point. So now synchronize the second point of the arm with the second point on the thigh. Bring the thigh muscle inwards. The arm muscle does not need to be shifted. You will just place your right arm perpendicular on it and apply the pressure once again for 6 seconds. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. Again a gap of 6 seconds, and then you move on to the third point. So third point of the arm synchronized with the third point of the thigh. Pull the thigh muscle inward, press your palm perpendicular on the left forearm, and once again 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. So this is what you need to do to simulate your liver. You can do a second round again, and if you do, let's say, 5 to 6 rounds of liver stimulation in a day, you're doing a lot of good to your body, because as I told you earlier, liver is one organ which is taking care of the rest of the organs, and liver is the organ which is actually gone into dysfunction when you have an illness like psoriasis. In fact, for all skin illnesses, it is the liver which has gone into dysfunction, because liver produces bile, and bile is an antiseptic fluid in the body, right? And that is, bile has the role of healing your internal injuries and acting as a soothing cream. So what the cream that you apply on the outside for external injuries, the bile produced by the liver is the antiseptic ointment for all your internal injuries in the body. And if those injuries are not healed, now that is what is causing the inflammation. So how we get injured outside and there's inflammation outside, similar inflammation happens inside when the internal injuries are not healed, right? So that is the role of liver in treating psoriasis, and that is how LMNT is able to treat psoriasis. So with that, I will be ending my session today. Many of you requested in the questionnaire that we had circulated that you would want migraine as a topic for the next webinar discussion. So that will be my topic for discussion in my next webinar, which I will be taking a fortnight from today, right? I will be sharing with you the details again on your WhatsApp messages or your emails. So thank you once again for attending the webinar, and I hope it was worth your time. So look forward to seeing you again. And if you have any questions which you were not able to ask me today, you can personally get in touch with me, and I will try to provide answers to your queries, right? Thank you and have a good day. Thank you very much, everyone.